In our modern society, werewolves are seen as mythical creatures that only exist in fantasy novels and Hollywood movies. However, despite what science may tell us, many people still believe that these terrifying beasts do walk among us, lurking in the shadows and waiting for their next victim. And although we can't say for certain if they exist or not, there have been numerous supposed cases of werewolf attacks throughout history, some even more recent than you might think. So with that said, here are 5 recent real werewolf attacks. Number 5, the Beast. France during the 18th century was a beautiful yet dark time. The French were in the middle of their absolute best era, building magnificent structures and experiencing great prosperity. But something evil was stirring in the countryside. People were going missing, and when their bodies were found, they had strange injuries that couldn't be explained. It started in the small village of, hence the name of the Beast, where a young girl was discovered dead in the woods with her throat torn out and her body ravaged. Although no one knew what kind of creature could have done this at first, eventually an alleged werewolf was blamed. Theories suggested that a woman who lived near the village was a werewolf and was attacking villagers. In response to this, an elite team was formed by King Louis XV to hunt down the beast. They searched high and low for the beast, but it seemed to vanish into thin air after a while. Then, as quickly as it stopped, the killings began again, and once more the king sent his men after the beast. Finally, after much searching, the beast was cornered and shot. When they cut open its fur, it was revealed that it was just a dog. However, that didn't stop people from believing that a woman was still behind it all. Some even saying that the woman had put a curse on the hunters so they would never find her. Whether this is true or not, over 400 people were killed by wolves in France around this time, so perhaps some of these deaths were misattributed to the Beast of Gavardin. Number 4, the Beast of Bray Road. In 1990, something terrifying began stalking the countryside of Elkhorn, Wisconsin. At first, it was just a few sightings of a large wolf-like creature, but soon people began to go missing. And when the police investigated, they came back empty-handed. There was no sign of struggle or any indication of what could have happened to them, but people weren't convinced. Many claimed to have seen a werewolf terrorizing the area, and even today, theories persist that this beast is still roaming free. One of the most convincing pieces of evidence comes from Cheryl Piper, a local resident who snapped a picture of the beast. In the grainy photo, a large wolf-like creature can be seen walking across the road. It looks like a wolf, yet something about it seems off. Its head appears oddly small in comparison to its body, and its legs seem unnaturally long. This has led some to believe that this is a werewolf. However, others claim it's just a coyote. What do you think? 3. The Nuremberg Werewolf. Back in 1576, 2 young men named Joseph and Johann entered the town of Nuremberg. The pair had traveled from Hungary and claimed that they were being pursued by a werewolf that had been tormenting their village. To protect themselves, they had taken an oath to kill any wolf they saw, and soon after arriving in Nuremberg, they spotted a wolf and shot it dead. After hearing about this, a crowd gathered and wanted to know if the animal was a werewolf, so they did the only thing they could think of to prove it. They took the wolf's body, chopped it up, and threw its remains into the river. But this wasn't enough for everyone, and they wanted further proof, so they dug up the wolf's heart and placed it in a barrel of wine. Then, since the legend says that werewolves cannot be baptized, they threw a cross into the barrel. Supposedly, when the cross touched the heart, it turned to stone. And although we can't say for sure if this is true, it's rumored that the townspeople were satisfied with this display of evidence and left the men alone. However, some say that the men actually made the whole thing up to cover up the fact that they had committed a crime. Others say they were telling the truth and that a werewolf really was after them. Through the Beast of Exmoor. Exmoor is a beautiful national park in England, and although it's usually a place of tranquility and peace, some say that a beast lurks in its depths, waiting to strike. Local legend says that a werewolf is haunting the area, and that it may have already claimed several victims. According to locals, the beast has glowing red eyes and stands over 6 feet tall. It's covered in coarse black hair and moves with unnatural speed and agility. Those who have seen it describe it as terrifying and say that it shouldn't even exist. And although there's no concrete proof that a werewolf is living in the area, there have been several suspicious deaths. One of the most recent happened in 2016 when a woman named Holly Gazzard disappeared while out walking her dogs. Her body was later found in a wooded area, and although the police never caught her killer, some believe that the Beast of Exmoor was responsible. Then in 2020, another woman went missing while hiking. In the same area, her name was Asha Northover, and she was last seen wearing a distinctive bright pink jacket. Days later, her car was found abandoned near a beauty spot known as Watersmeet, but there was still no sign of her. Even today, nobody knows what happened to her, and some believe she became the next victim of the Beast of Exmoor, the Beast of Bussy, while visiting family in Romania in 2018, British national Dominic. Midgley decided to go on a hike. He wanted to take some pictures of wild horses that were in the area. But what he didn't know was that he wasn't the only one in the forest. According to Dominic, as he was taking pictures, he heard a noise that sounded like a woman screaming. Then out of the corner of his eye, he saw a large black shape running through the trees. It moved with unnatural speed and agility and seemed to disappear into thin air. And although this is probably just a story to a lot of people, he claims that he was then stalked by a werewolf for the rest of his hike, and to prove this, he even captured video footage of it. Although the camera doesn't pick up anything unusual, Dominic swears that he felt its presence the entire time, and even today he believes that he was stalked by a werewolf. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out some more content.